If you're out there coaching young basketball players, what is the single most important thing you need to get right? Well, according to the official WABC Mini Basketball Manual, it's not the drills, it's not the plays, it's all about making the game fun. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that means and how to do it.
This right here, this one quote, it's the foundation for literally everything else we're going to talk about. It's the philosophy that should guide every single decision you make as a youth coach. So before we even think about a single drill or rule, we have to get this in our heads. The goal isn't the final score, it's the experience.
So let's just frame it like this. Your success as a coach for these little ones, it's not measured in wins and losses. It's measured in retention. Is practice so much fun that your players are genuinely excited to come back next week? If the answer is yes, then you're winning. That's the real victory. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with that core philosophy of fun, then we'll walk through 3 key developmental phases for different age groups, and we'll wrap it all up with one final rule that just ties everything together. Okay, first things first, let's really lock in our foundation. Before we talk about a single crossover or a layup, we have to understand why making it fun isn't just a nice little bonus, it is the absolute core of mini basketball. What's so great about this is that it kind of demystifies the whole idea of fun. You know, it's not some abstract concept. It's practically a formula. Kids have fun when they're with their buddies, when they're constantly moving, and I mean not stuck in long, boring lines, and when they're learning something new. And maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, when their coach is having fun too. Your energy is totally contagious. So what does this philosophy actually look like on the court? Let's start with the youngest players, the 5 to 7-year-olds. In what the manual calls the discovery phase. At this age, you gotta remember these kids are basically little explorers in their own bodies. They're not really learning basketball skills just yet. They're learning the super basics of running, jumping, and just coordinating. The key here is this huge contrast. You're a guide, not a drill sergeant. Your job is to create a safe playground for them to discover things. Just describe a goal, like, hey, let's see who can tag the most players, and then just let them figure out how to do it. Oh, and stuff like lower rims and smaller balls, that's non-negotiable. It makes the game accessible and cuts way down on frustration. And this is just a brilliant way to think about it. You could spend 5 minutes trying to explain the biomechanics of a high elbow to a 6-year-old, or you can just give them a simple, intuitive cue that actually helps their body discover the right motion all on its own. The goal is the outcome, not the technical jargon. Now, as our players get a little older, a little more coordinated, we can start to introduce the next layer. This is what we call the basic rules phase, and it's where we start to bridge that gap between general movement and actual basketball skills. But before we start drawing up plays in a whiteboard, it is so critical to remember this hierarchy. Their overall physical literacy, their coordination, their mobility, their fitness is still way, way more important than tactics. Think about it. A great athlete can always learn basketball. It's a lot harder for a great basketball mind to suddenly learn how to be an athlete. When we introduce rules, we don't just dump a rule book on them. We present the rules as logical solutions to problems in the game. You can't just run with the ball, so you have to dribble. You can't beat everyone by yourself, so you need to pass to your teammates. See? Each rule becomes the answer to a why. Okay, so once they really get the why behind the basic rules, we can enter the refinement phase. Players at this age, they have better motor control and they're ready for more detailed, more analytical feedback to really start honing those skills. The name of the game at this stage is balance. Yeah, we can offer more detailed feedback, but we still have to avoid getting bogged down in super technical stuff. And we absolutely have to maximize their involvement. That's why small-sided games like 3-on-3 are just so effective. Every single player gets more space and way more touches on the ball. I want to pause on this for just a second because this is probably the single most important and, let's be honest, most violated rule in all of youth basketball. At this age, you do not establish specialist roles, period. And here's why that's so important. Forcing a kid into one role, like making your tallest kid only ever play center, is a recipe for burnout, and it completely stunts their development. Sure, it might help you win a game this Saturday, but you're hurting that player in the long run. By letting everyone play everywhere, you develop more complete, more versatile players who stay engaged because they actually get to experience every part of the game. So this brings us to our final principle, and it's the one that kind of sits on top of everything we've talked about. The age groups are guidelines, right? But great coaching happens when you coach the individual,
not just the number on their jersey.
I mean, this is the reality on every youth team, isn't it? That 10-year-old who's brand new to the sport might be a true beginner, while the 8-year-old who's been playing for years is ready for a much bigger challenge. Your coaching has to adapt to them, not the other way around. And check out how simple it can be to adapt. You can run one single dribbling drill and challenge everyone at their own level. Your beginners, they use their strong hand to build up confidence. Your more advanced players, they have to use their non-preferred hand to build up their skill. It's the same drill, but now it's personalized for every single player. So, we'll end with this question for you to really think about. The guidelines we talked about are a great starting point, but truly great coaching happens when you see past the age group and you actually connect with the individual player in front of you. So ask yourself, are you coaching the team or are you coaching the person?
Hey coaches, Coach Prasanna here. Hope you picked up something new today. Sharing knowledge equals growing together. More basketball coaching videos coming soon from basics to advanced. Like this reel, follow the page and stay tuned. Let's build better players and better coaches together.